final on the ESL competition. In opening games we have Ljubljana B. In opening opposition we have Groningen In closing government we have Tel Aviv A. And closing opposition Haifa A. Without any further ado, the House calls upon the Prime Minister.
Thank you for the floor, Mr. Speaker. Now, what we believe today's debate is about is one, the free choice, and why we believe that we can only guarantee in the country where actually the state can control what its citizens and what its companies are doing. And we also believe that this is a debate about the responsibility of the state to protect the weakest members of their society, and we believe that both these points will go on our side. Now, first, a theoretical introduction. In your life and in your country, there are goods. There are goods which you can give up if you wish to do so. You can let other people insult you and take away your pride. We think that's fine. Then you have goods which are completely non-responsible, like for example state security. We just don't allow you to deal with that. But then there are those in between which are limitedly responsible. And here comes in life. Now those goods are those which we allow you to take, give it away by yourself. You can commit suicide. We do not allow others to interfere of that good of yours. We do not allow others to kill you as we allow others to, for example, insult you. Now, because we say, if it's your life, if you have made a free choice, then we're fine with it. But when someone helps you, we believe that it can get, well, tricky to find out if that choice was actually yours. It was actually a free choice to take that life away by yourself. And we believe that as the state, in some cases, we have to preserve the doubt that this person was not okay by being held to get killed, because we believe that they maybe didn't want to commit suicide in the first place. No. Now we say, if you let people assist people, this can lead to abuse. But now you want to ask, so why are we only prohibiting this in foreign countries? Now, here the international law argument comes in. I'm really sorry to have to talk about this. And this is that other countries are sovereign. If you, for example, travel to Switzerland, where assisted suicide is legal, and you go to the Dignitas clinic, and then someone kills you, we believe that if the police will try to investigate if that choice was truly yours, and will try to investigate the practices of Dignitas, well, the Swiss government will not allow the British police to come into their country and investigate the practices of this company, and investigate how that company determines that that choice that you apparently made was truly yours. Why? Because the Swiss government has no reason to let this country in, because they believe they can take care of that by themselves. Now we believe, since the state has decided that they believe that there should not be assisted suicide in their country, we believe they had a good reason not to let people travel abroad to do it, especially because they can't control it. On this point, go.
Yeah, so if we believe in France, weed is not allowed, you go to Holland, you couldn't smoke weed because you think it's wrong.
Well, madam, what we say is that if you want to harm your lungs, we think that's okay. But we're talking about goods that are way above what we believe is, well, smoking weed. We're talking about your life. And we believe that if you go to Holland to smoke weed, we believe that this was a choice that you probably made all by yourself, because there's no reason to doubt that. But we will talk to you about why we have to have the suspicion that those people were not all that free to make that choice. Now, this is the second point I'm actually coming to. And this is, which people are we actually talking about here? Which people do commit suicide in the first place? Now we say it is people who suffer. It is people who are in pain. Maybe it's people who have suffered, for example, loss of mobility or loss of bodily function, or have lost a really inspiring career as a rugby player, as for example this British guy. Now, we say that those people are most vulnerable and most easy to influence. And because they're so vulnerable, and because they're so easy to actually free. Now we say that person jumps off a building or rolls down the staircase, we believe that this is a sign that this was a choice freely made. Now if we say if you help those people, then we cannot be sure of that anymore. No. But what we say is, if you have it in your own country, you might be able to regulate it. If those people go abroad, you can never be sure that this choice was actually free because you can't control how the other economy is working. Now, the last point I want to tackle here is why those people would have an interest in, let's say, killing you. Now, first of all, because you may be a burden to your family, because they see you suffering, because they see how you're coping with the daily difficulties so hardly. Now, we don't say that these are all bad people who just want to get rid of you. We just say these are also emotional beings who maybe just can't handle the burden of basically seeing you around every day. Maybe you're their husband or your brother or your father, and you just see how they have changed so rapidly, maybe through an accident. And that's why we believe, because these people react emotionally, and because those people who are vulnerable are also making emotional decisions, we believe that the state has to step in and protect the free choice. But this free choice cannot be ensured if you don't know under what circumstances your people have died. If Great Britain wants to say, we believe that our citizens should have the right to commit assisted suicide, then we ask them to legalize it in Great Britain, so their police will have the control over, for example, over abuse cases. They should not just be hypocritical about it and say, we value life so much and we won't let people kill in our country, but we will let them travel to Switzerland to commit the same act. We believe they should not do it because they cannot control that the choices those people made were so free. Why is it important that the choices made are still free? Because life is so valuable. Because life is the only thing which is truly ours. And you have to have the ultimate voice over what happens to your life. We cannot ensure that a clinic in Switzerland, or maybe a clinic in, I don't know, Saudi Arabia, or a clinic in Myanmar, will adopt the same standards that we want to have in our country to determine that those people actually committed assisted suicide and not assisted murder. Now, in case we find out they actually did that, we believe they should have the same punishment as there is now when you're encouraging people to commit suicide and then they, in the end, actually commit suicide. We believe that's kind of analogical, but that's not the big point. The big point is that you have to protect the free choice of those most vulnerable. You also have to protect the family not to make the wrong choices. We believe, if you believe that your citizens should have the right, then make a law in your own country so all the companies will work by your standards and you'll be able to control it. If you do not want that, don't let people go abroad, abuse their family, and